when you look at the crowds today, you have maybe 5,000-6,000 people here. On the streets yesterday, 1 million people, 1 million Iranians in the street for the Ayatollah Khomeini. Does that not give you concern? Does that not make you afraid?
Because they are afraid, yeah, that's right. And most of the people don't say anything because they are afraid. And they are in silence, you know, they don't say anything.
Is this the silent majority of Iran out here now?
Yes, that's right.
Do you want the Shah to return?
Yes, Shah, return to the country.
What about you, Shah? Why do you want the Shah? Why does she want the Shah?
ما شاه میخوایم ما بیچاره این
شادی کشتنش حلاله کجای قرآن گفته
47 years we've been bleeding in the dark, under the shadow of the Islamic regime, with a stone-cold heart. They silenced our voices, they turned off our light. 58 days without internet, but we still fought the night. Our children took the streets, they raised their empty hands, and the world looked away. Do you understand? Do you know Europe? Do you know what's been done? Do you know Europe? 42,000 souls are gone, killed in 2 days by a regime drenched in blood. Do you know Europe? Or have you just given up? Do you know Europe? Do you feel anything at all? Or did something break inside you while Iran answered the call? Do you know Europe? 42,000 lives, 2 days, that's all it took. Mothers and fathers and sons, did you even look? We stand with Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, our hope and voice. Millions behind him marching, he is our only choice. He only fights for freedom, democracy and human rights. But you mock him in your chambers while he fights for our lives, to pull us out of this darkness, this century-long night, while you sign deals with our killers and call it diplomatic right. Do you know Europe? Do you know what's been done? Do you know Europe? They hang 60-40 souls one by one, hanged within 4 months by a regime drenched in blood. Do you know Europe? Or have you just given up? Do you know Europe? Do you feel anything at all? Or did something break inside you while Iran answered the call? Do you know Europe? What happened to you, Europe? What made you so cold? What turned your heart to stone? while our story went untold. Is oil worth more than blood? Is silence worth the shame? Because while you negotiate with murderers, we are dying, calling your name. Do you know Europe? Do you know what's been done? Do you know Europe? 42,000 souls are gone, killed in 2 days by a regime drenched in blood. Do you know Europe? Or have you just given up? Do you know Europe? We are still here. We are still strong. Do you know Europe? How much longer? How much longer? How long? Do you know Europe?
To all of our friends around the world, under the yoke of the Islamic Republic, Iran is identified in your minds with terrorism, extremism, and poverty. The real Iran is a different Iran, a beautiful, peace-loving, and flourishing Iran. It is the Iran that existed before the Islamic Republic, and it is the Iran that will rise again from its ashes the day the Islamic Republic falls. So let me be clear about how a free Iran will act towards its neighbors and the world after the fall of this regime. In security and foreign policy, Iran's nuclear military program will end. Support for terrorist groups will cease immediately. A free Iran will work with regional and global partners to confront terrorism, organized crime, drug trafficking, and extremist Islamism. Iran will act as a friend and a stabilizing force in the region, and it will be a responsible partner in global security. In diplomacy, relations with the United States will be normalized, and our friendship with America and her people will be restored. The state of Israel will be recognized immediately. We will pursue the expansion of the Abraham Accords into the Cyrus Accords, bringing together a free Iran, Israel, and the Arab world. A new chapter will begin, grounded in mutual recognition, sovereignty, and national interest. In energy, Iran holds some of the largest oil and gas reserves in the world. A free Iran will become a reliable energy supplier to the free world. Policymaking will be transparent. Iran's actions will be responsible. Prices will be predictable. In transparency and governance, Iran will adopt and enforce international standards. Money laundering will be confronted. Organized corruption will be dismantled. Public institutions will answer to the people. In the economy, Iran is one of the world's last great untapped markets. Our population is educated, modern, with a diaspora that connects it to the four corners of the world. A democratic Iran will open its economy to trade, investment, and innovation, and Iran will seek to invest in the world. Opportunity will replace isolation. This is not an abstract vision. It is a practical one, grounded in national interest, stability, and cooperation. To achieve this, now is the time to stand with the Iranian people. The fall of the Islamic Republic and the establishment of a secular, democratic government in Iran will not only restore dignity to my people, it will benefit the region and the world. A free Iran will be a force for peace, for prosperity, and for partnership.
وقتی واسه غم نی گرچه قصه هامون کم نیست همه خسته این قبولم ما فرصتی واسه ماتم نیست روشن میشه فردا خورشید سرزمین ما سرم باز و سینه سپر بلند میگم جاوید شاه وقتی واسه غم نی گرچه قصه هامون کم نیست همه خسته این قبولم ما فرصتی واسه ماتم نیست روشن میشه فردا خورشید سرزمین ما سرم باز و سینه سپر بلند میگم جاوید شاه روبروم یه واژه یه هدف به نام انتقامه پشت سرم دعای مادر و تو دستم تفنگ بابامه رو زبونم اسم شاه بگینین عشق بی انتهاست هر جا اسم ایران اومد اونجا صدای بچه رضاست فردا می نویسن تو کتاب قصه دیمار بگو با تیر جنگی کشتن بچه های بیگناه رو بگو از بخت مادرها شیر زنا و دخترامون بگو تنها شهید شدیم تا تنها نمونه شامون وقتی واسه غم نی گرچه قصه هامون کم نیست همه خسته این قبولم ما فرصتی واسه ماتم نیست روشن میشه فردا خورشید سرزمین ما سرم باز و سینه سپر بلند میگم جاوید شاه وقتی واسه غم نی گرچه قصه هامون کم نیست همه خسته این قبولم ما فرصتی واسه ماتم نیست روشن میشه فردا خورشید سرزمین ما سرم باز و سینه سپر بلند میگم جاوید شاه وقتی واسه غم نی گرچه قصه هامون کم نیست
همه خسته ایم قبولم، ما فرصتی واسه ماتم نیست. روشن میشه فردا خورشید سرزمین ما، سرم بالا و سینه سپر بلند میگم جاوید شاه.
سلام من به تو یار قدیمی، منم همون هوادار قدیم.
سید سلام چطوری مردک، کلی کتلت شدین دایی بدون مدرک. سلام بسیجی قهرمان رفتی پیش توسی با پنیر و یه نون سنگک. سلام به محفل قرآنیتون، سلام به مدیرای بحرانیتون، سلام به حاجی اکبر و طوله هاش و خارج و رفقای ارگانیتون، سلام به دزدای پول ملت که تش میفتین توی تور ملت. سلام به همه شما کرکسایی که دارین نونتون رو میزنین تو خون ملت، تا که تش زیر دست و پاک و تک بخورین حالا هی به یه بادکنک بدوین. سلام آخر تو زندان باشه وقتی قرار به این آب خنک بخورین. مرگ بر ملا متولی ننگ در دنیا، ننگ بر دوتا مجاهد چپی بعد از ملا. مرگ بر ملا متولی ننگ در دنیا، ننگ بر دوتا مجاهد چپی بعد از ملا. اینو بگذاریم به خاک میرسیم، تجزیه طلبی که به خاک بیرسیم. ایران مردمش وطن پرستن، از کرد تا بلوچ بری به فاک بیرسی. توف به هر چی مرسی است، توف به هر کی در پی تجزیه است، توف به لوی و همونی که شیفته ی گل ملیگرا تو وطن خدا نفسی هست. سر کردستان همه برپا شدن، بلوچستان فدای مهسا شدن. شمع واحد که شیر و خورشید ما بقی جعلیا تنها شدن. شادی باشه واسه همه در میهن، کور بشه چه شهر چی اهریمن. رخه رو بگی تا اون 6 کلاس سواد و خبرگان و مجد سری ترجیحن. شبهای عروس و دامادی باشه برن سلامتی نوش کنن آبادی باشه. مقصد کجاست میدون شهیاده به سمت اتوبان آزادی باشه. سلام به نسل ندید پدیدا، نبودیم ندیدیم قدیم بدیما. شاه بود تو شادی کل میزدین، حالا شاه بر میگرده پیک میزنین. مرگ بر ملا متولی ننگ در دنیا، ننگ بر دوتا مجاهد چپی بعد از ملا. مرگ بر ملا متولی ننگ در دنیا، ننگ بر دوتا مجاهد چپی بعد از ملا. مرگ بر ملا متولی ننگ در دنیا، ننگ بر دوتا مجاهد چپی بعد از ملا.
اگه به این خوشگلی با نوایده بود اسم یه مشخواهن رو توش بیاریم، ولی خب لازم بود دیگه. فکر کنم با نوایده.
Talking of peace, but you know how it ends. Smiles for the cameras, deals in the light, but truth disappears somewhere out of sight. Mullahs behind it, controlling the flow. You shake hands with fire, but you already know. Iranians want freedom, they're reaching high. From cells to the shadows, their voices still grow, dreaming of a future they don't even know. Deals at the top while the pressure runs low, and down below the fear continues to grow. Deal with the devil, you know what it costs. Promises fade while the lines get crossed. Deal with the devil, you hear their call, voices in chains. Don't let it all go. You don't free millions by moving too slow. Mr. Trump, if you give them that deal, they keep the power, they tighten the seal. More voices silenced, more lives erased, while freedom is pushed further away. Be the Reagan they need, take a stand, don't trade their future for a sake of a hand. Deal with the devil, you know what it costs. Too many lives already lost. Deal with the devil, you hear that call. Iranians fighting, they won't let it fall. Deal with the devil, don't look away, while lives are taken day by day. Mr. Trump, be like Reagan. No deals with the devil.
Let's go. میخوام بگم از دلم، از عشق به این میهنم، به امید روز شکست دشمن شاه برمیگرده به وطن. برگشتن پهلوی، وحشت هر اجنبی، بلند بگو همشهری، شاه رضا پهلوی. نظام رسیده پرتگاه، بلند بگو جاوید شاه. برگشت شاه به میهن، دوای درد وطن. این آخرین نبرده، پهلوی برمیگرده. داره میاد پهلوی، زجه بزن سید علی، راه نجات وطن. پهلوی هموطن، ایران میشه گلستان. شاه که بیاد به ایران، ایران که شاه نداره، حساب کتاب نداره. آخون باید گم بشه، توپ تانک فشفشه. گم شو بیرون اجنبی، داره میاد پهلوی. فریاد بزن جاوید شاه، شعار هر وطن خواه. ما شاه میخوایم نه ملا، بذار بشنوه دنیا. ایرانی داد بزن، شاه تو فریاد بزن. برگشتن پهلوی، وحشت هر اجنبی، بلند بگو هموطن. شاه رضا پهلوی، فریاد بزن جاوید شاه، شعار هر وطن خواه. بلند بگو جاوید شاه، شعار هر وطن خواه. فریاد بزن جاوید شاه، شعار هر وطن خواه. فریاد بزن جاوید شاه، شعار هر وطن خواه. بلند بگو جاوید شاه، شعار هر وطن خواه.
Look at us here today. We see so many flags representing so many nations. We know we are not alone, and we thank you for being with us. For all people around the world who stand today in unity with the Iranian people, this is not just because it's good for us, and you do it out of compassion and care for our rights to liberty and justice and equality and human rights. But understand that it is in your best interest too, to have, unlike this regime that has been propagating terror and radicalism, we the people of Iran are peacemakers and not warmongers. We like to be friends, especially with the free world. We'd like to be able to have the best neighborly relationship with the people of our area in the region, with the Arab countries, with Israel, and all our other neighbors. We are fighting for justice, we're fighting for human rights, we are fighting for liberty, we're fighting to put an end to all sorts of discrimination. Because as an Iranian, I stand here to tell you that I've dedicated 47 years of my life because I think that my country deserves far better than what we have right now. To now understand that their best remedy is to support the people of Iran, because ultimately a free Iran will be your best partner, not just to bring stability and peace, but it will be in your best economic interest and opportunities. Together we can prosper again, and the world will be so different once the Iranian people are free. I am here to guarantee a transition to secular democratic future. I am committed to be that leader of transition for you, so we can one day have the final opportunity to decide the fate of our country through a democratic, transparent process, through the ballot box and free elections. And let's make sure that this time, especially the free nations of this world and their governments, stand on the right side of history.
Well, Durud, patriots, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to day 143 of Iran Revolution Live with your wonderful and amazing host, Mr. Armin Navabi.
And your wonderful and amazing host, Goldie Ghamari.
Thank you. Armin, how are you doing today?
Trying to put out fires, people panicking for no reason all the time. Oh my God, it's just so hard. Like so many people from inside Iran, outside of Iran, listening to me like, Armin, everything is ruined. I'm like, it's okay. Like, you guys were saying the same thing before Operation Epic Fury, and that ended up not being true. So yeah, just putting out fires here and there, Goldie. Oh my God, what is
Yeah,
getting so many panic messages from everyone.
Listen, I'm with you on that, and let's just dive right into it. So this is the Truth Social post that President Trump posted yesterday, and let me just read it, and then I'd love to get your initial thoughts on this, Armin. He writes, "I have been asked by the Emir of Qatar, Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud, and the President of the UAE, Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, to hold off on our planned military attack of the Islamic Republic of Iran, which was scheduled for tomorrow. In that serious negotiations are now taking place, and that, in their opinion, as great leaders and allies, a deal will be made, which will be very acceptable to the United States of America, as well as all countries in the Middle East and beyond. This deal will include, importantly, no nuclear weapons for Iran. Based on my respect for the above-mentioned leaders, I have instructed Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Daniel Kane, and the United States military, that we will not be doing the scheduled attack of Iran tomorrow, which would have been today, but have further instructed them to be prepared to go forward with a full, large-scale assault of Iran on a moment's notice in the event that an acceptable deal is not reached. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump."
All this says that it's not going to be today. All that says, like, it doesn't mean it's canceled. It doesn't mean there's not going to be an attack. Obviously, where the position of the Islamic Republic is when it comes to what they can tolerate and what the United States can tolerate is miles away. They're not even in the same continent. They're not even in the same universe. There is no way to bridge where the Islamic Republic is in the United States unless the Islamic Republic completely surrenders. And if that happens, that would be the end of the Islamic Republic. So this is not the cancellation of the attacks at all. In my opinion, I mean, I don't know what you think, Goldie. This is just messing with the Islamic Republic, making them confused. I think also President Trump managed to get the Islamic Republic thinking that the attack is going to be today, revealing their position, just like the operation before Operation Epic Fury. So many of the movements by the Islamic Republic revealed so many things to the intelligence gathering operations before the actual attack happened. If you guys remember, before Operation Epic Fury, everything suggested that it's going to be at the time, and it didn't happen. It happened at a later date. But the fact that even the Islamic Republic thought it's going to be on that date basically meant that they show their hands. So this is just basically tricked the Islamic Republic to show their hands, and a lot of information was gathered. But at the end of the day, Goldie, I think it's inevitable that United States and the Islamic Republic are going to go head to head. Like it's inevitable. It's inevitable. Also, I don't believe for a second that the UAE, the Qatar, I believe. Saudi Arabia, I can't believe. Okay? Qatar, I'm sure that's what they want. Saudi Arabia, they could be either way. The UAE coming to President Trump and saying, don't attack the Islamic Republic. The only thing that they might have said is like, we're not ready. Can we have more time? The UAE is maybe even more eager than Israel right now to attack the Islamic Republic, because it's an even more existential crisis to them than even Israel. So how's that? Like, of course they wouldn't ask the United States to not attack the Islamic Republic. Right?
Yeah, listen, I agree 100% with what you're saying. And, to me, again, like the UAE has pretty much said that they're going to, go out, like they're going to respond to the Islamic regime, because I believe, and I think, Armin, you mentioned this as well. The UAE has received the majority of the attacks from the Islamic regime, even more than Israel. The UAE has been attacked more than Israel. So, of course, they want to go after the Islamic regime. What I find really interesting about this post is that, well, first of all, I don't really think something was going to happen on a Tuesday anyway. I mean, when you look at the pattern back in the summer, last summer, when President Trump went after the nuclear facilities, that attack happened on a Saturday. On February, this past, back in the winter, when President Trump was going after the Islamic regime, again, that attack was initiated on a Saturday. So I think you're onto something, Armin, when you say that President Trump was, in a way, forcing the Islamic regime to show its hand, so that the Americans maybe can get some intel or something on what or how the Islamic regime plans on moving forward or responding. And so by doing this, right, the Islamic regime may have been preparing for a strike today, and now they may have revealed their hands. So I see this definitely as psychological warfare, right? Because war is not just about the physical aspect of it. There's also economic war, psychological war, different aspects, different elements of it to lay the foundation. But the other thing, Armin, that I get from President Trump's message is that, and, I made a video yesterday talking about it, but then things got busy. I just posted my video analysis like right before this live stream began. So my video analysis, because there's like so much moving, so much updating information, my analysis is already a little bit old, but it's still relevant. But what I said in my analysis is that I believe that as of this moment, every like there's no more military deployment that's necessary, right? Like no one, like the United States is not waiting for any more like military assets to be moved into the region. Like they're not waiting for anything, right? Like everything is in place. Everyone is in place. And President Trump pretty much confirmed that, because in his message, he also says I have further instructed them to be prepared to go forward with a full, large-scale assault of Iran on a moment's notice in the event that an acceptable deal is not reached. So to me, that also signals that the military is in place, right? The military is in place. The Marines are there. The armed forces are there. Like whoever needs to be there, whatever needs to be there is already there. And you're absolutely right. President Trump did not say that he's canceling or calling off the attack. Again, like we have seen the largest movement of military assets into the region since I think over 20 years now. And then President Trump was also very clear when he said that this is only maybe like 2 or 3 days, and he said that in a press, like when he had an announcement last night. He said that last night, and I believe he may have said a few things today. So I don't know which ones you want to watch. I do have the video lined up from last night, which is pretty informative, I think. And he does kind of give like a bigger, like a sort of a broader answer, and then maybe we can share the ones from this morning after. I haven't seen the ones from this morning yet.
From this morning, I found all the parts that were Iran related. So
perfect. Okay.
At the mosque, they're giving a briefing, and it's a terrible situation. I've been given some early updates, but we're going to be going back and looking at it very strongly. Yeah, please.
Justice Fund created $1.7 billion that the IRS is now going
Wait,
to...
excuse me?
Can you speak a little bit about your post on Truth Social on Iran, and what was the decision that why you didn't attack it?
Well, other countries have come to me and they've said we were getting ready to do a very major attack tomorrow. I put it off for a little while, hopefully maybe forever, but possibly for a little while, because we've had very big discussions with Iran, and we'll see what they amount to. I was asked by Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, and some others if we could put it off for 2 or 3 days, a short period of time, because they think.
Right. So he clearly says 2 or 3 days. It's not like he's just canceling everything. So the 2 or 3 days part is really important here.
That they are getting very close to making a deal. And if we can do that, where there's no nuclear weapon going into the hands of Iran, I think, and if they're satisfied, we will be probably satisfied also. We've informed Israel. We've informed other people in the Middle East that have been involved with us. And, it's a very positive development, but we'll see whether or not it amounts to anything. We've had periods of time where we thought pretty much getting close to making a deal, and didn't work out. But this is a little bit different. Now, we're ready going tomorrow, very big, and not something I wanted to do, but we have no choice because we cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. Yeah.
What I also find interesting, Armin, is he's like, we've had very good conversations with Iran. Who's he speaking about? Like, who is he speaking with?
I think that's just part of the mind games that is going to make pro-regime people ask the same question and go on a manhunt. I think that's what that is designed for.
Yeah. That's what I think so as well. So there you go. So that was his statement from last night. Like, President Trump is making it very clear. The other thing as well, Armin, that I find really interesting is that he's putting the onus on Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE. So President Trump is basically saying, okay, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE, you guys have 2 to 3 days to make the Islamic regime surrender. And if you can't surrender, we're going in. So he's pretty much putting the onus on them. And that way President Trump can say, well, they tried, they couldn't do it. This, I think, is also very smart strategically, because now people can't come back and say, well, President Trump doesn't know how to negotiate with the Islamic regime, right? President Trump just wanted war. But now that he's put the burden of responsibility on 3 other states, if those states can't make the Islamic regime surrender, then President Trump can say, see, I told you, these guys are lunatics. You can't negotiate with them. You can't reason with them.
Yeah. So if you don't want, I mean, for example, if Qatar, obviously the UAE wants war, But if Qatar, if you don't want war, here's your last chance. Make them see sense, and then once you fail, then shut the hell up, right? Like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I see that. Yeah, let's go to
Also, Goldie, President Trump many times just says Iran, but here he said Islamic Republic of Iran.
I know.
Yes. So what's up with that?
I found that very
don't know.
interesting as well. I found that very
Really?
interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's, you know, it's just, I mean, we always know that we know what he means, but it's nice that he's saying the Islamic Republic of Iran, because he's, you know, essentially reassuring the Iranian people that when the strikes, you know, resume, it won't be against the people. It never was against the Iranian people. America's target has always been the Islamic regime, not Iran or the Iranian people.
Maybe he watches your videos.
Maybe, who knows? Or maybe he watches yours. So, okay. Did you want to go to the clips you have lined up from this morning?
Yes, let's do that. Let's do that. And I haven't watched them, by the way. So
Me neither. So
okay. All right. Okay, so all right. This is the question. How close were you to striking Iran? That's the first question. Let's see the answer to that.
How close were you to striking Iran?
I was an hour away. We were all set to go. You're talking about yesterday.
Yes.
We were going to be striking it would have been happening right now. Yeah, it was all done. The boats, the ships are all loaded. They're loaded to the brim. And we were all set to start.
Wow. Okay. It would have all been happening today.
I mean, I kind of wish it was happening today, but I can see the military strategy behind it, right? But I mean, as you know, and guys, you know, like we try to kind of keep our opinions sort of, you know, objective here, but at the same time, like the Iranian in me, I'm like, I wish he was already like striking them. Like, I wish it would happen sooner rather than later.
Yes. I mean, we are the reason why we Iranians are so much in a rush, because we have been waiting for this all our lives, right? So exactly like Goldie said, even though we understand that military operations are complicated and it's not based on what we want and it needs to be done right, but forgive us for being a little bit impatient because of everything that we had to go through so far. And Goldie, last time
it's also, you know, it's also a humanitarian crisis as well, right? Because the Islamic regime is executing Iranians every day.
Yep, that's what I mean, for 47 years.
Yeah.
But Goldie, but one thing that Goldie always reminds us, that whenever we are impatient because we see the suffering, is not just the execution, but also the economic hardship. I'm getting more messages from inside Iran telling us that they can't even pay for medicine or doctor's visit. It's getting worse and worse every day. So that's but one thing that we try to think of to remind ourselves that it's worth the wait is that last time, before Operation Epic Fury, we thought the attacks will happen at a certain date. It didn't. But when it happened, it was bigger than we could have imagined. And the wait ended up being worth the success of the military operation. So hopefully, basically, this time around also, you know, the cost of waiting is so high, but hopefully the reward for the patience is going to be higher than the cost of the waiting. All right, let's go to the next one. So it's 4 in total of the ones that were Iran related, of the questions that were Iran related. So that was number 1. This is number 2. On Iran, the question is whether it's popular or not. Oh, no, that's the answer. So let's just listen.
I'm not doing this politically. I'm just, look, everyone tells me it's unpopular, but I think it's very popular. When they hear that it's having to do with nuclear weapons that could take out Los Angeles, could take out major cities very quick. When they hear that, you know, when they're explaining, I'll tell you what, when we explain it to people, I don't really have enough time to explain to people. I'm too busy getting it done. When they understand, I think it's frankly very popular, but whether it's popular or not popular, I have to do it. Because I'm not going to let the world be blown up on my watch. It's not going to happen. I'm not doing this.
you know, actually, President Trump makes a very interesting point here. When the level of popularity depends on how you ask it. Okay. So if you, for example, ask like, oh, do you like Americans on average, like, oh, do you like that, you know, you're at war with the Islamic Republic? You're probably going to get like a lower number of people who will be for it. But if you ask it like, do you think the war is worth not having a nuclear Islamic Republic, then it's basically the same question. It's basically the same question, but by the different framing of it, all of a sudden, more people were like, well, okay, yeah, I mean, if it means that the Islamic Republic is not going to get nuclear, sure, that's like, it's worth the cost. So, you know, President Trump makes a really good point. So first of all, he makes a point that it's not about the popularity. We can't just decide whether we want to allow the Islamic Republic to be nuclear or not. This death cult that is set on global invasion. The question of whether or not we should allow them to have a nuclear weapon or not shouldn't be a matter of popularity. Like, this is just something you need to do regardless of what people think. So there's that. But even if it was based on popularity, the framing of the question influences the results. So that was number 2. Let's go to number 3. This is on Iran again. Let's see what President Trump says here.
You know, we're negotiating with Iran, and then you have the Democrats, I call them the Democrats, putting in a bill that Trump should immediately stop. You know how it is to negotiate with a country where you're beating them badly? They come to the table, they're begging to make a deal, because they're begging to make a deal. I hope we don't have to do the war, but we may have to give them another big hit. We may have to give them another big hit. I'm not sure yet. You'll know very soon. But how do you feel when you're negotiating, you're winning every point, and they say, but in Washington, they want to stop you from negotiating. They want to stop you, and it's only political. It's the Democrats. They're dumb. It's a new name. It's a very accurate name. So I'm in the middle of a negotiation. I'm saying you cannot have a nuclear weapon, and it comes over the wire that the Democrats want to stop Trump from further negotiations. They want to stop Trump from, if he has to, giving them another slap. They want to have a nuclear weapon to blow up the Middle East and to blow up, frankly, the world. It's not going to happen. You know,
yeah, it's actually interesting how, you know, a country is not putting a united front against its enemies, and you're not basically, when it comes to internal politics, it's okay to have these infightings and fight against each other. But when you're fighting against an enemy that obviously wants to destroy you, being divided on that basically limits your ability to respond to threats. You know, when it comes to obvious external threats to your country, everybody, like all the political parties in the country should be united. I don't understand why the Democrats are like that. Like in Israel, for example, you could see that there's so many internal disagreements, but when it comes to the Islamic Republic, you know, they are like, yeah, we need to end them, we need to destroy them. On that, there's not that much division. So the Democrats, I don't know, in the United States, this is one thing that you shouldn't be divided over. By the way, guys, you hear the sound in the background? That's President Trump's favorite sound. Listen again.
You know, we're negotiating with Iran, and then you have the Democrats, I call them the dumb.
Yeah, that's the sound of construction. Okay, this is where President Trump loves to be the most. Like, he loves watching this. He loves that sound. He loves the smell of cement. He loves the sound of building. This is his favorite sound and sight and smell and everything. All right, so he's a builder. He's a builder. All right, let's go to. Okay, so next question. Again, this is the fourth question, Iran related. Let's listen to this one. Yeah, real estate happy place. Construction happy place, exactly. Sounds of prosperity. Oh, I love that. I love that. That's exactly.
Iranians know. How long did they know that you were planning the Gulf?
They knew I was getting ready to attack. I didn't tell them. I never tell anybody when.
You're in constant contact.
I never tell anybody when, but they knew that we were very close. I would say we were I was an hour away from making the decision to go today. And we would probably not be talking about a beautiful ballroom today. We'd be talking about that. And no, I had made the decision. So they called up. They had heard I made the decision. They said, "Sir, could you give us a couple of more days because we think they're being reasonable."
How long is the take for Iran to come?
Well, I mean, I'm saying 2 or 3 days, maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday, something, maybe early next week, a limited period of time. Because we can't let them have a nuclear weapon. If they had a nuclear weapon, they would start with Israel. They would blow it up, and they would blow it up fast. But they'd blow it up, and I'll tell you what, they'd go after Saudi Arabia, they'd go after Kuwait, they go after UAE, they go after Qatar, they go after, I think they go after the entire Middle East, and it would be a whole different negotiation. It would not be, it would be nuclear holocaust. And there's no question in my mind that they'd use it. There's no question. And I deal with these people. They're extremely radicalized. These are not people like what I deal with you. You're a very nice guy.
That's what we've been saying.
Seriously radicalized. They would use it. The only question, would it be the first minute, the first hour, or the first day?
See, guys, people were all upset that President Trump says they're reasonable or whatever. He was always talking in relative terms. When it comes to absolute terms, he's saying they're radical, they're radicalized, they're lunatics, they're not people to be reasoned with. So when he says they're more reasonable, he's just talking, like Goldie mentioned, he's talking in relative terms. By the way, guys, I also just imagine how crazy this is driving, like the Islamic Republic is losing their mind, like it's driving them mad, because I bet you everything that the Islamic Republic thought that this is it, they're coming, and they had put all of their energy and all of their mobilization forces and all of the everything that they need, motivation and their narrative building and preparations for this to happen right now. And then all of a sudden they're like, oops, like, nope, not right now. But it's just like, I just want you guys to understand, because the Islamic Republic works based on narrative building, narrative building and motivation, and basically preparing a space for something big to happen. So this just going forward and pulling back and going forward and pulling back is exhausting the Islamic Republic, because every time they basically prepare the right mindset for going into this, once President Trump's pulled back, it's not easy to keep recreating that atmosphere a second time, a third time, a fourth time. This is why right now why the Islamic Republic is having a very difficult time keeping the pro-regime Iranians in the streets, because it's one, like, your first month you're like, oh yeah, they're gonna attack us, stay in the streets. Second month, like, yeah, but third month it's gonna be like, okay, like, where is this attack that you guys told us about? So all of this delay is actually making the Islamic Republic really exhausted, and once eventually it happens, they're not going to be as prepared for it. By the way, guys, we see the super chats, but we're going to do the super chats and in about 30 minutes from now. Okay, we're going to read your super chats in about 30 minutes. Okay, so we have a dedicated time for it. Speaking of the Islamic Republic preparing the public, let's go back to inside Iran, see what they're up to. Okay, what is this?
روسی، چینی و غیره داخل این انبار سلاح هست، شما کدوم سلاح رو انتخاب می‌کنید؟ قطع به یقین.
So basically they're talking about guns, and the people who are in the crowd are here to learn about guns in the mosque. So this is in continuation to what we showed you before. I just want to show you that it's continuing. This is the IRGC in a mosque telling people about guns and which ones they need to pick.
شما کدوم سلاح رو انتخاب می‌کنید؟ قطع به یقین با تجربه‌ای که دوستان بنده داشتن، بزرگترای ما داشتن، من این سلاح رو انتخاب می‌کنم. دلایل خاص خودم رو دارم.
So, guys, he's saying if you had a box of guns that were Chinese, Russian, this and that, which one would you pick? And he says, this is the one that I would pick. Is that the Kalashnikov? So that's Russian. That's an AK-47, which is Russian. Hold on. So he's saying if you had a box full of guns that some of them were American, some of them were Russian, some of them were Chinese.
روسی، چینی و غیره داخل این انبار سلاح هست، شما کدوم
Why wouldn't you pick the American gun? I would pick the American gun.
سلاح رو انتخاب میکنید؟ قطع به یقین
Like for 100% for sure, I would pick this gun, the one that he's holding.
به یقین با تجربه ای که دوستان بنده داشتن، بزرگترای ما داشتن، من این سلاح رو انتخاب میکنم. دلایل خاص خودم رو دارم.
Like I have my own reasons. Oh yeah, sorry. People are saying, Armin, Goldie, put your hands up. Sorry. Yep, YouTube. Goldie and I are not holding any guns. We're reviewing a video. This is the news.
Except for these guns right here.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's pretty impressive, Goldie. Wow. Okay. Oh my god. Okay.
در اکثر کشورهای دنیا این سلاح ساخته میشه.
Like in most countries in the world, they make this weapon. I think he's talking about the AK-47.
یعنی سازنده منحصر به یک کشور.
So the builder of this gun is not limited to one country.
نیست. مثل آلمان شرقی، روسیه.
So I guess he's just talking about guns. That's he's like, but guys, this is so stupid. He's basically like, guys, this is my favorite gun. I love this gun, and he's gonna go over the reasons why this is his favorite gun. I think he wanted to do this for his whole life. I think this guy just like is really into his gun, and he was like always dreamt about one day coming to an audience and telling people why he loves his gun. And finally, he's been given the opportunity. I think that's what's happening. Let me see. I don't want to go over all of this because it's like 3 minutes.
میکنم فاصله خودم تا هدفمو دشمن سیبل یا هر چیز دیگه محاسبه میکنم. میایم عقب‌تر. یه قسمتی داریم اینجا به نام روپوش آلات متحرکه.
Oh, he's teaching him about how the gun works, the different parts of it.
روپوش آلات متحرکه.
This is, by the way, this is like a big thing that is happening in Iran, like in the mosques, in the street. This is apparently in the streets, on state TV, in mosques, and in the street pro-regime street protests. Everybody is just talking about guns and training how to use guns. That has become like since 3 days ago. That's all the rage for some reason. I mean, I know for what reason, because they guys. So this means that the Islamic Republic thinks that the United States attack is going to happen soon, and shortly after that, there's going to be a mass uprising. That's what the Islamic Republic is thinking right now, and that's why they're training pro-regime people to talk about guns. Okay, and so Goldie, biased CNN News went into the streets, and again, I'm not gonna play this unless you tell me to play it. So
I played it last night, so go ahead. I
Oh,
played it last night, and I
okay.
was yelling and screaming for a while.
Okay. So CNN went into the streets as well to see, to look at the. I haven't watched it yet, so let's watch it with each other. Okay, so let's see CNN looking at these gun trainings. Look at this. They're teaching children. Okay, they're preparing children to shoot at Iranian people. Guys, let me tell you, I'm not exaggerating. Just look at this frame right here. I want you to understand something, okay? Because some people think that maybe I'm exaggerating, and I'll let you know why I'm not, okay? Step by step, follow this logic, okay? They are getting prepared for something. This is not normal, even based on Islamic Republic standards. This mass teaching of how to use weapons on pro-regime people. So they're getting ready for something. What are they getting ready for? They have already enough intelligence to know that the Americans and Israelis are not going to do a mass ground invasion of Iran. They already know that the weapons that they're showing you here on how to use is not going to be effective over American fighter jets, Israeli fighter jets, missiles, and drones. This is not going to do anything. So what are they preparing for? If it's not the Americans and the Israelis, it's obviously preparing them for a mass uprising of the Iranian people to topple the regime. So keep that in mind. That's the only thing that these weapons would be good for, given the things that could happen in the future. So that means that this kid, so far with me, like, am I saying anything that was wrong based on, like, that means that this kid that you're watching on screen right now is being trained on how to use an AK-47 against the Iranian people, against an unarmed uprising of the Iranian people fighting for their right to live in a free Iran. That's what you're watching. Let me know if that logic follows. Anyways, let's continue. Let's watch this.
Threats from the White House.
What?
Iranians are now being
Okay, look, he's saying that threats from the White House. This is not in response to threat from the White House. This is in response to threats from the Iranian people against the regime.
Threats from the White House.
Oh, Goldie. Ooh.
Petito, welcome.
Petito. Okay.
Can you hear us? Hello? Oh, he doesn't have good connection.
Oh no.
Okay, you know, Petito, I have to remove you and then try to come back in. You have to reset your internet connection. Let me message him. All right. Okay, hopefully he'll be able to come back in. Ah!
Oh no.
Oh no, my camera fell. All right, guys, technical difficulties. I'll be right back.
Technical difficulties. Should I remove you? Oh, there we go.
No, that's fine. I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay. Technical difficulties. Okay. All right. So, guys, in 24 minutes, we're going to be doing super chats. Okay, let's watch the rest of this.
Iranians are now being urged to prepare for war.
Right, well, these rallies or gatherings have been taking place every single night for the past several weeks, and so they're not new. But what is new is the introduction of weapons, and these kiosks have been set up in each of these.
Are you going to point out? I don't know if this journalist is going to point out that these people are being trained to do massacre upon the Iranian people, upon unarmed civilians. Is he going to point that out?
Some squares where members of the military there, you can see them with masks on. They're showing.
Oh yeah, are you going to mention? Oh my God, are you going to mention why the members of the military come with the mask on? Guys, let me know in the chat. Why are they? This woman doesn't have a mask, but the members of the military come out with a mask on. Why? He's not going to point it out. I'm going to point it out because they're afraid of the Iranian people. What's the point of wearing a mask? What's the point? Like, how does that help you against the Americans and Israelis? It doesn't. These people know that the Iranian people hate them, and they will come and visit them where they live. And that's why they don't want to be identified. That's why they're wearing a mask. Oh, Petito is here.
Hi, Petito. Can you hear us? We're not getting a. Okay.
Oh.
Not good connection. Okay. Oh, all right. He's gonna try again. Okay. But yeah, Armin, I agree with you that they're wearing masks in order to prevent themselves from being identified, right? It was like the same with the Mexican drones, right? The guy who had like the sunglasses and the mask, and they were like showing off the drones or whatever. It was the same thing.
Yeah, and they're like, we're so brave, we're so strong. You're afraid of your own people. Oh yeah, the mask and the sunglasses. So brave. Oh my God, so alpha. Come at us. They're very own people that you're supposed to be ruling over. You can't even show your face to them. How are you acting so alpha? And guys, this like people like, how do you know the Islamic Republic so unpopular? Look at the masses. They know it themselves. Yes.
Yeah, Armin, let's go to JD Vance because he's just about to give a quick update on the Iran situation.
Okay. Let's go.
I was monitoring it and waiting for
briefly before I came out here. It's actually a very simple proposition here. There are two options, two pathways we can go down when it comes to the Iran situation. So step back for a little bit. What the President of the United States has said is, number one, Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. And I think it's important for the American people and all of you to appreciate that when we say that, it's not just that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, it's what would happen if the Iranians did get a nuclear weapon. We know that a lot of nations all across the Gulf would then want their own nuclear weapon, and then a lot of nations all across the world. And what has been a very effective bright spot of American foreign policy really for the last 20 or so years would disappear overnight. If you have every country in the world scrambling to try to get a nuclear weapon, it would make us all much less safe. And Iran would really be the first domino and what would set off a nuclear arms race all over the world. That's very, very bad for the safety of our country. As the father of 3 young kids, I don't want them to inherit a world where 20 additional regimes, half of them very dangerous and very sympathetic to terrorists, have nuclear weapons. We want to keep the number of countries that have nuclear weapons small, and that's why Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, on top of all the other things that we might be worried about, that they themselves could use it, that they could use it in leverage and economic control or economic negotiations. We just don't want them to have a nuclear weapon. Now, what we did here is that we effectively degraded their conventional military capability. That has been done. That has been successfully done. You could always do a little bit more, but where we are now is the president has asked us, has told us to aggressively negotiate with the Iranians. Why did I go to Islamabad, Pakistan? Why did I spend, I think, probably 22 hours on a plane going there, 24 hours coming back, and then 21 hours on the ground negotiating with the Iranians? Is because we wanted to show a sign of good faith. The vice president of the United States is willing to cut a deal so long as the Iranians are willing to meet us again on that core issue of never having a nuclear weapon. We think that we've made a lot of progress. We think the Iranians want to make a deal. The president of the United States has asked us to negotiate in good faith, and that's exactly what we've done. So we're in a pretty good spot here, but there's an option B. And the option B is that we could restart the military campaign to continue to prosecute the case, to continue to try to achieve America's objectives. And we could talk a little bit about what that looks like, but that's not what the president wants. And I don't think it's what the Iranians want either. We have an opportunity here, I think, to reset the relationship that has existed between Iran and the United States for 47 years. That's what the president has asked us to do, and that's what we're going to keep on working at. But it takes two to tango. We are not going to have a deal that allows the Iranians to have a nuclear weapon. So as the president just told me, we're locked and loaded. We don't want to go down that pathway, but the president is willing and able to go down that pathway if we have to. So with that, I will say thank you all. It's cool to be here. I'm going to give a shout out, of course, to the person I am replacing today, Carolyn Levitt, who hopefully is at home enjoying some time with her beautiful kids. I told Carolyn I would stand in for her today for the White House press briefing on the condition that when Usha has our baby in July, that she would be vice president for a couple weeks. So thank you, guys. And I actually want to start first with Nick from Breitbart. Nick, it's good to see you.
Good to see you, Mr. Vice President. Thank you. Today we saw the president endorse Ken Paxton over John Cornyn in the Texas Senate race. Do you think that sends a message going forward for the next cycle to senators, considering running for re-election, or any mega-aligned potential candidates that are considering challenging them?
Well, I'd say a couple things, Nick. First of all, the president's very...
Okay, so I think that's pretty much that was pretty much JD Vance's statement when it comes to Iran and the Islamic regime. So just aggressive negotiation, whatever that means. So I mean, I interpret aggressive negotiations as either surrender or we bomb you. That's how I see it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The best way to negotiate aggressively is to bomb people while you're negotiating with them.
Exactly. Okay, so I mean, we'll leave it there because he pretty much gave the messaging, and usually in the questions he just kind of repeats what was already being said. So let's go back to CNN there. No, guys, I didn't fall out of my chair. My camera fell. Oh, people are like, I fell. No, guys, I did not fall out of my chair. My camera fell from the thing, so I had to go grab my camera. No, guys, I didn't fall. I actually ordered a new tripod because my old tripod is it's become too flimsy. So I'm actually really lucky that my camera didn't break because I have my new tripod, but yeah, I have to set it up yet. Oh, you thought I fell? No, that was the camera that fell. We can do like a slow-mo replay if you like. If you guys want like the yeah, it's like a because you can literally see me reaching out. I was reaching out to like you can see I'm literally here. I'll show you guys. Let's do the live replay of my camera falling. So here I am. I'm reaching out to where is it? So I reach out to adjust my camera and then the whole thing just falls. See?
Oh, look at your face. That was so cute. Look at that. Go back. You're like, you look at that. That was
there you go. Yeah. So that wasn't me falling out of my chair. That was my camera. That was my camera. There you go, guys.
Oh my god.
That's okay. I bought my tripod and I've been lazy about setting it up. So there you go. There you go. So there you go. I mean, it is kind of funny now.
Yeah, that's good. That's kind of funny. Yeah.
Anyways, so back to Armin.
Okay. Let's finish this CNN video because I don't know. Maybe Goldie has already reviewed some of these, but I know the people these hours are not the same as the people at the other hours. But I have two videos from Iran that are very important after this one. So let's finish this really fast, and then I'll interrupt the CNN guy less before we go to the next video, because the next video is from Khamenei's family. Okay, Ali Khamenei's family.
Members of the military there, you can see them with masks on. They're showing people, in this case a woman, the basic skills of how to use what I think is an AK-47 or a Kalashnikov, things like that. Look over here. They're showing children how to use them.
Which is a war crime. They're basically creating child soldiers. Are you going to point that out?
As well. It's all part of a sort of state-sponsored call to arms in case the war begins again.
Yeah, in case the war begins, none of these weapons are going to be helpful against the Americans and Israelis. The war was with the Iranian people. Maybe you should point that out.
It's all guns on state television too. It's several Iranian channels broadcasting their hosts brandishing assault rifles. They gave me a weapon so I could learn how to use it, like you, this anchor tells her viewers. After his on-air training, this presenter fires off a round into the studio ceiling.
That's a real bullet, by the way, and we know that. That's not a blank. You know how we know that? Because we saw it. Like, we showed you before these people showed it, and before it went viral everywhere. We were showing this to you on Iran Revolution Live. And if you look at the full video, they actually loaded with a real bullet, not a blank. And he's shooting it in the goddamn studio.
But not all Iranians are gunning for a fight.
Yeah, these people are the ones who are going to be shot at.
Just around the corner from the rally, hints at the diversity of views about their...
Are you goddamn kidding me? Is he going to try to make it seem like the Islamic Republic is tolerant and this is a diverse society? This is only a demonstration of the Islamic Republic's desperation and their lack of ability to enforce their own rules that are still in the books.
Country's plight. Well, it's a it's a very different atmosphere in this.
Are you going to point that everyone here is violating the law that the Islamic Republic can't or doesn't want to enforce right now because of the situation they're in?
Part of town, people are sitting with their partners,
Yeah,
having
guys, all of this is inside Iran. All of this is against the law, and he's highlighting the 1% of the 1% of the society that get to eat right now at the restaurant, making an average CNN viewer think that, oh, okay, so people get to live like this in Iran. This is the 1% of the 1%, and that's what he's deciding to highlight.
Coffees,
It is really shameful. Like,
so
it's
disgusting.
just, people like they just go to like North Tehran, like where the rich people are and where they can, either they're like regime people or they're rich enough that they can bribe the morality police. And so, the morality police and whatever, the IRGC, they go to everywhere else in Tehran, right? They don't go to that particular part.
Yeah. Guys, like there are people in Iran that are not experiencing any difficulty. Okay? I know that because I know some of them. That doesn't mean that the vast majority of Iranian people are not suffering. Obviously, there are a small group of people that you could go to Iran and they're completely fine. But the fact that CNN is highlighting those types of people is basically pure regime propaganda.
Coffees, strolling around the bookstores or just hanging out with their friends.
Wow, guys, this is just normal life. Look, there's bookstores, people are eating at restaurants.
And you talk to people, you get very different.
And look, no hijab, makeup. Oh my God, this is what you want to highlight?
Views as well. People didn't want to talk on camera, but off camera.
Obviously, they didn't want to talk on camera because it's a totalitarian dictatorship. Anyone who talks on camera against the Islamic regime will be arrested and murdered by the Islamic regime. I mean, Armin, like, do you see how uncomfortable those two girls looked? The ones like who weren't wearing hijab?
Let's go back. Yeah.
Very different.
These two.
Different views as well. People didn't want to talk on camera, but off camera, one woman said to me she just wanted peace and freedom. Another one said she wanted to live in a normal country where there was a potential future for her children.
That's not what. Okay, people want the collapse of the Islamic Republic. Okay, this is reformist talk. What you're saying is reformist talk, and I know a lot of Iranian people hate that language.
Country where there was a potential future for her children. But Iran.
Look, that's Hezbollah's flag, by the way. Oh no, that's IRGC. Is that Hezbollah? Right? They both the same color, so I have to see.
Children.
I can't.
But Iran's future, to many Iranians, looks increasingly clear, especially amid regular threats from President Trump.
Oh my God! Look at this. He thinks that the threat to a good future to Iranian people is threats from President Trump. We never had a normal life in Iran because of the Islamic Republic. In fact, if we are ever going to get to where having freedom and a normal life, it's only because of the Americans weakened the Islamic Republic to the point where we could eventually get past this dark chapter in our history. He's putting the responsibility of not having a normal life on the threats from President Trump as if we had a normal life before these attacks.
Waiting for the war.
We're waiting. We're here because we know this war isn't over. We know he's not going to negotiate.
I don't even think she's Iranian. اصلا اون ایرانی نیست. اونی هم که کنارش افغانیه. ببین, the one that's speaking, I don't think she's Iranian. And then the woman right to her, like to the right of the screen there, that's like an Afghani woman. Go forward a little bit. Yeah, see, Afghaniya. Like the people that CNN's interviewing, they're not even Iranian.
Going to be like, either you do what I tell you or I'm going to kill you again.
And it may be that bleak sense of inevitability, drowning out any voices.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Right.
Unbelievable. Okay. There was a big, important audio, very important audio So if you guys have already analyzed this, I'm just doing it for this hour because I think it's very important, and it confirms that the Americans are messing with the Islamic Republic. So you know how Goldie says that they're playing mind games and they're just messing with them? Here's the evidence. Here's the evidence for it. Okay. So let me read the caption. I don't know if it's worth me reading the translation. Maybe I should, but let me just tell you what the caption is, okay? So members of Ali Khamenei's family remained at the leader's compound ahead of the deadly February 28th meeting because officials had been almost assured, the Islamic Republic officials had been almost assured that no military action would take place as talks were nearing a deal. You hear this, guys? The Islamic Republic had fell for the trap of the Islamic Republic, of the United States on the Islamic Republic, that a deal is near. So if you are getting so upset that, oh my God, why are they talking about a deal? Watch this. This shows that this mind games with, oh my God, we're getting to a deal, is the reason why Khamenei is dead. Okay? Nasser Rafai, a cleric close to the Supreme Leader's office and family, quoted Mujtaba Khamenei's father-in-law, Ghulam Ali Haddad Adel, as saying, actually, I think it's good to play this entire video. It's only 1.5 minutes long, to see how the Americans tricked him. Okay? And why he thinks, like, guys, a lot of people are like, why was Ali Khamenei not in his bunker? The Americans somehow convinced Ali Khamenei that we're not going to attack you and we're going to get it to a deal. And he left his bunker because of that. He left his bunker because of that. Okay, so watch this. He's saying, I asked Haddad Adel, who is the father-in-law of Mujtaba Khamenei and a friend of mine, and he said that even Mujtaba's children do not even get to see their father. So guys, right now Mujtaba Khamenei's children don't get to see him. They're not allowing the children to see Mujtaba. Okay, and since they lost their mother and they also lost their father because they don't get to see their father. He has 3 children and living with their maternal grandfather. I asked him what had happened on the day when they killed Ali Khamenei. What happened then? You know, after all, Ali Khamenei knew that protecting one's life is obligatory. So in Islam, you need to protect your life. Like, you cannot just allow somebody to come kill you. It's Islamically, Ali Khamenei, our Lord, knew that protecting your life is obligatory. So why was he why was he out there? Okay. So even if he himself was present, like even if he was going to make himself present in a place that could be taken out, by an attack, by a missile attack, at the scene, why was he with his family? Why was his son-in-law there? Why was his daughter-in-law there? Why was his daughter there? Why was his grandchild? Why was small grandchild? Why did he have all of these people around him? Like, okay, if he didn't care about dying himself, Islamically, you cannot just have all of these people around him and allow them to die as well. Like, why would you out there with all your family? Yeah, why was the family there? Like, okay, look at this. Why were all of them in one place? Okay, he said he replied that they had been assured that nothing would happen. You know that the wars were started 2 days before an agreement. 2 days before an agreement was supposed to be signed. So Khamenei had failed for the idea that the Americans are 2 days 2 days away from signing a deal. Oman's here, look at this. Oman, you see how the Omanis were used by the Americans and Israelis? Look at this. Oman's foreign minister had gone to the United States. Abu Said himself was negotiating. We were at the peak of talks and close to reaching a deal. So what happened, as you saw, was because they had been almost assured that no military action would take place during those days. As a result, conditions at the leader's compound were normal. Even if we assume the supreme leader had chosen to put himself at risk, they would have not allowed the family to remain at home. Like, he would never allow his family to remain at home if he thought there would be an attack. So what happened that all of them were gathered in one place? It was because they had been almost assured that nothing was going to happen. So there you go, guys. This shows that Khamenei fell for a trap. And though everything that was annoying you with regards to Americans saying, "Oh, there's a deal, we're gonna make a deal, they're negotiating, we're gonna have a deal," all of those that were annoying you is what got Khamenei killed. That's what this video suggests. Okay.
And the theory, the rumor is that it was Tucker Carlson who gave that false info to the Islamic regime. I mean, who knows, right? That's just one of those unfounded rumors going out there. But Armin, like, this plays into President Trump's strategy, because again, right, like literally 12 hours before Khamenei was boomed on February 27, President Trump said that I haven't made a decision. I'm unhappy with the way things are going, but we are speaking with them and we're going to continue speaking with them. So even publicly, President Trump was claiming that he hasn't made a decision and they're just focusing on the talks and the negotiations. And that is what made Khamenei feel confident enough to have a meeting out in the open with 30 of his top IRGC commanders, and then they were all boomed right away. So again, like, this is why when President Trump says something, you cannot take what he said literally. Like, you have to take it seriously, but not literally, because why would President Trump give away the actual plans?
Exactly. Okay. And guys, if you think like, oh, why would you believe this video, Armin, and maybe this is a trap, guys, like, he's right. Why would Khamenei have his family and all of these military commanders all in the same place so easily targeted if he wasn't somehow confident that there's not going to be any attack? Like, don't trust what they're saying. Look at their actions. They actually believe the deal is on the table. I believe a deal is about to happen. They actually believed it, and they fell for it, and now he's dead. So think about this, by the way, guys. Given that they already fell for this twice, okay, it's harder to make them fall for it a third time. You need to come up with more ways to show to the Islamic Republic that the deal is actually going to happen for them to fall for the third time, right? And that's why you might get so many signs that a deal might be happening, but it's only then basically third time, same plan, and it's amazing if the Islamic Republic falls for it again. By the way, so Goldie, it's super chat time. Oh, where am I?
You have to add yourself to the screen. What's going on here?
Oh no! Oh, there we go.
Wait,
No.
let me fix it.
Okay. I was like, it's super chat time, and I removed myself. I eliminated myself. Oh my god. Okay. So guys, we already have a lot of super chats. So let's go right to the super chats. Thank you so much for all the support. You guys are amazing. Thank you. So push-ups with the first super chat saying, Goldie, that dictatorship double standards easy is
I'll read it.
sorry.
Goldie,
oh no, I can do it. Sorry, I just went up one word wrong. That dictatorship double standard essay is truly great for explaining liberal hypocrisy and naivete, but it is lightly critical of the Shah, so not sure it would fit. It is a landmark essay, though. My screen is far away. Okay, I can just
that's okay. That's okay. Thank you, push-ups. I will take a look at that. Listen, I don't shy away from things that are critical of the Shah. There is a lot of disinformation and misinformation out there. So I actually have played a lot of documentaries that are 100% false and fabricated, and I basically use that as an opportunity to, correct the record and counter the propaganda. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. I will definitely take a look at that essay. It sounds like something really interesting. So I am interested in seeing what it says. So thank you.
Okay. And then thank you, push-ups. Thank you for the super chat. Melissa saying, are we there yet? Bapish. Okay. Yes, everyone is waiting. I understand that feeling. I completely understand that feeling. And thank you so much for the super chat. Amir gifted 1 membership to Goldie Ghamari's YouTube channel. Thank you so much, Amir. Thank you so much for the support. You're always very supportive every single day. I really appreciate that. And then Sadato gifted 5 memberships to Goldie's channel. Thank you, Sadato, for the memberships. And also, guys, we can see Sadato's profile picture. That's a sculpture that he himself made. He makes sculptures, and that's what it is. And then Sadato again with 5 memberships to Liberty Politics. Thank you so much, Sadato. Thank you so much for being always, again, he went on both channels, on Goldie's channel and then on Liberty Politics channel. Thank you so much. And then we have Carolyn saying, am I the first super chat? Yes, on Liberty Politics, you were the first super chat. Thank you, Carolyn, for getting us started. We're trying to get at least 10 super chats a day on Liberty Politics, and you got it rolling. Thank you for that. And saying, am I the first super chat? Yes. By the way, interesting post on State Department's website about financial sanctions and a reward for turning them in. Ooh, okay. I keep that in mind. Maybe we'll look into that. And thank you, Carolyn. Thank you. That has been very effective. Those methods have been effective in getting some of these people out of their holes.
Armin, let's put the super chats on hold just because Petito's here and he's been having some internet connection issues. So I would love to go to Petito because I know our viewers also appreciate hearing from him and getting all the updates, and then we'll go back to the super chats after. So Petito, welcome. Is everything sorted out now with your internet connection?
Durud.
Oh, Durud, finally, welcome.
What a relief. It feels so good to be with you. Always seeking to doing it with you.
Yes.
We missed you, Petito. How are you doing?
So do I. I'm doing all right. Thank you for asking. And surprisingly, I have connection troubles, and then I switched on a VPN, and STMyard let me in. It's like Starlink. I can connect through my Starlink connection directly to your channel. So, as you know, I've tried to reach your program for some nights because something is happening, and I think media is missing, and where is the best place to share with all of the world except here. من ببخشید که من یه خورده الان چون در واقع لایو دارم بداهه دارم حرفمو میگم، امکان داره اون چیزی که دقیق میخوام نگم. برای همین ازتون خواهش میکنم مثلا من فارسی صحبت بکنم کوتاه، مثلا 30 ثانیه 40 ثانیه، بعد ترجمه بکنیم بریم جلوتر اگه امکانش رو داریم.
Of course, we have ARMIN GPT.
Okay. ARMIN GPT super agent در واقع بالاترین لول اشتراک شده.
Oh, thank you. Okay. هر موقع آماده هستی بهم بگو. آره آمادم. مرسی.
من آمادم الان خدمتتون میرسم. یک لحظه. خب الان صدا من دارین؟
بله بله.
اوکی. من در واقع امشب اول از همه خیلی دوست دارم که از تمام افرادی که شنونده ما بودن و در کنار ما بودن، نه فقط یک شب، نه فقط یک هفته، نه فقط 12 روز، بلکه فردا 144 روزی که ما کنار هم هستیم و توی این مسیر همراهی شما برای من به شخص باعث افتخار بوده و همیشه به همه افرادی که از ایرانی و خارجی و هر کسی که در واقع خودش رو پیتریوت میدونه که توی این مسیر کنار ماست تشکر میکنم و در واقع افتخار میکنم که توی این مسیر کنار افرادی مثل همه شما هستم. این اصلا ترجمه کنیم بعد ادامه شد.
Okay. So Patipto is saying, I want to say tonight from on behalf of all the people who are listening and have been on our side for not just the past few days, 10 days, 20 days, but the past 144 days, for all the people who have been by our side, whether they're Iranians or non-Iranians. I just want to thank them and feel so proud that they have been with us. They have made us filled him with pride. Patipto feels proud to be by your side, and he just feels that this is an honor, and he wants to thank all of you, both Iranians and non-Iranians, who have stood by us, by him. Yes. Okay. بفهم Patipto. درست گفتم؟ میوت هستین.
بله درست ممنون. در واقع این باعث میشه که من اینجا
پاتیپتو خوب هستی؟
آره عالیه. فقط دارم سعی میکنم مثلا حجم زیاد از اطلاعاتی که چند جای متفاوت نوشتم و جمع کردم چون به دام اومدیم همه رو بگم یه خورده.
اوکی. ولی از لحاظ سلامتی همه چی اوکیه؟
آره عالیه. من در واقع نگفته بودم به دوستان، به شما نگفته بودم، چند تا جراحی داشتم که آخرین جراحیمو دیشب انجام دادم و با موفقیت به بهترین شکل پیش رفت و خیلی ممنونم از همه شما که میپرسید.
Oh my god. So اینو میتونم بگم؟
بله.
So I asked Patipto how he is and if he's healthy and okay, and he said like yes, he's good. He had a surgery yesterday and the surgery was successful. So he said everything is going fine. Okay, I didn't know that, but okay. I'm not gonna نمیپرسم چیزی بفهم.
نه آره من اصلا نیازم نبود که مثلا شما نگران کنم، ولی خب برای اینکه پرسید اوکی هستی فیزیکالی خواستم بگم تو بهترین شیپ هستم، از این بهترین تمام مشکلات هم.
اوکی.
حالا در ادامه صحبتام می‌خواستم بگم که نتیجه همراهی تمام عزیزانی که حالا چه توی استیم همراه ما هستن، چه توی اکس فعال هستن یا هر جای دنیایی بالاخره دل در گروه انقلاب ملی شیر و خورشید دارن به من احساس امنیت میده و این احساس امنیت خیلی ارزنده است و در واقع من رو به این باور میرسونه حرکتی که ما شروع کردیم خیلی بزرگتر از فقط یک انقلاب ملی میهنیه.
Revolution. Okay, ملی میهنی. Okay, so Patipto is saying that all the people watching us, from all the people supporting us from all around the world, whether it's on X or YouTube or for whatever country they're following us, I just wanted to say that the fact that there's so many people by our side gives me a sense of security, makes me feel more secure. And Patipto saying for him, this shows that this revolution, all the people who've been supporting this Lion and Sun revolution and are so invested in it, for Patipto, this shows that this revolution is not just a national revolution. It's beyond a national revolution. Right? درست گفتم؟
بله دقیقا. در واقع میخوام اشاره کنم که به این انقلاب ملی میهنی در واقع فقط برای ایران نیست. ما به عنوان مردم ایران شاید با شروعش و به دنیا آوردن انقلاب شیر و خورشید صدامون رو بلند کردیم، پرچممون رو بالا بردیم، ولی خبر مهمتر برای من از داخل ایران اینه که همونجوری که رفرنس دادم بهتون، مردم دنیا این بار کنار منی هستن که احساس امنیت میکنم از حضورشون و دونستن این نکته یه سیگنالی رو میده، یه خبری رو میده، اونم اینه که این حرکت ما صرفاً با حمله یا با پیروزی یا با اتمام در واقع این چیزایی که توی ذهنمون داریم تموم نمیشه، بلکه ما تازه در حال این هستیم که همدیگر رو شناسایی بکنیم و تازه در حال به وجود آوردن یک کامیونیتی بزرگ و یک در واقع چیزی خیلی گسترده‌تر از اینی که هستیم بین تمام افرادی که خودشون رو میهن پرست میدونن، خودش دل در گروه میهنشون دارن. حالا برای ایرانی‌ها میهنشون ایرانه، برای آمریکایی‌ها آمریکاست، برای هر کسی که در واقع دل در گروه جایی که به دنیا اومده، خونه‌ای که توش بزرگ شده، حتی مادری که ازش زاییده شده، توی این مسیر در واقع با هم همجهت و همفکر هستیم.
Okay. So Patipto is saying that this movement that we started, this Lion and Sun revolution, this is something that the Iranian people have started, but but the signals that he's getting shows that this is a movement that is bigger than Iran. It goes farther than from inside Iran. He says that it's true that the Iranian people started this, but the movement that we're seeing grow out of it is that the people of the world, when Patipto sees from inside Iran that the people of the world are by his side and makes him feel secure because they're by his side, this signal shows that this movement is not going to end with an attack or like a single event or something, anything like that. This means that we are basically getting to know each other, to find each other, identify each other, and we're building a bigger global community of all the people anywhere in the world that are emotionally invested in their own country, basically patriots. So basically this goes back to what we were discussing regarding a unity of patriots globally. درست میگم پاتیپتو؟
دقیقا. پس من این قضیه رو به این شکل نگاه میکنم که ما در حال یک انقلاب میهن پرستانه در سرتاسر دنیا یا گلوب هستیم. اینکه ما شروعش کردیم، اسرائیل و آمریکا حامی ما بودن، ولی در مجموع در حال یک جرقه و انفجاری از آگاهی در دنیا هستیم. در رابطه با چی؟ در رابطه با اینکه بالاخره هر کسی بر اساس یک حالا عدد رندومی، بر اساس شانس، توی نقطه متفاوتی از دنیا به دنیا اومده، چیزی که در اختیارش نبوده، جایی که ما به دنیا اومدیم در اختیارمون نبوده به صورت خالص. پس چه چاره‌ای داریم به غیر از این که اون جایی که هستیم و اون جایی که ازش اومدیم، اون جایی که بهش باور داریم و دوست داشته باشیم و عاشقش باشیم. چرا که در واقع میخوایم در کنار هم با این دیدگاه بیایم میهم پرستی رو مد بکنیم، یه چیزی که تا به امروز همه احساس میکنیم تا حدودی تابو بوده. در حال حاضر تو حتی آمریکا هم ما دو دسته یا چند دسته آدم کنار هم داریم که در مقابل میهم پرستی هستن. ما گلوبالیسم رو داریم، در کنار پیتریوتیسم داریم. در واقع ما در جبهه میهم پرستان در حال مد کردن میهم پرستی هستیم و این بهترین خبریه که من اینجا توی ایران میتونم بفهمم و بشنوم. چرا؟ چون مسیر میتونه برای خیلی از ماها جاهای متفاوتی تموم بشه. خیلی از با ارزش‌ترین انسان‌ها رو ما توی مسیر از دست دادیم و برخورد شخصی که من با همشون داشتم این بود که بهترین حس، بهترین آرامشی که به یک نفری که میتونستی توی این مسیر بدی این بود که این مسیر پایان نخواهد یافت. یعنی با دونستن این که این آتش خاموش نخواهد شد، باعث این میشه که هر کسی که حتی توی این مسیر جونش هم از دست میده با رضایت و خوشبختی جونش هم از دست بده. پس این بهترین خبره و در کنارش هم من دوست دارم که برای شنونده‌هامون نوتیس بکنم که نه تنها جزئی از این انقلاب کنار مردم ایران هستن، بلکه در حال گسترش این انقلاب در سرتاسر دنیا به عنوان یک انقلاب میهم پرستانه در سرتاسر دنیا بین عده‌ای آدم که بر این باورن که ما حق داریم به عنوان یک انسان. امکان داره خود چالش داشته باشه این ایده، امکان داره بره سمت این که ترجمه بشه برای آدمایی که بد فکرن، بره به سمت این که ترجمه بشه نجات پرستی. ولی من اینو با این چالش قرار میدم: آیا شما انتخابی داری در جایی که به دنیا اومدی؟ آیا این کفر یا گناهه که شما جایی که به دنیا اومدی رو بپرستی، میهنی که به دنیا اومدی رو بپرستی؟
آخرش رو یه بار دیگه میگو، جمله آخر تو.
آخرش رو دقیقاً داشتم میگفتم که آیا اشتباهه که به عنوان یک آدم جایی که توش به دنیا اومدی رو بپرستی در مقابل نقد این که بگن آقا شما داری رفتار نجات پرستانه میکنی؟ من اگه بخوام برتری در مورد ویژگی‌هایی که حالا در کنترل من نسبت بقیه احساس بکنم درسته، ولی به دنیا اومدن یا انتخاب مادر چیزی نیست که در موردش من انتخاب داشته باشم. پس شما هیچ وقت نمیتونید منو بابت اینکه مادرمو دوست دارم یا میهنمو دوست دارم سرزنش بکنید.
Okay. So Patipta is saying, so he sees this issue like this: we are in the middle of a global revolution of patriots. We are seeing a spark of awareness everywhere in the world. We're seeing this movement everywhere in the world spreading. Everyone, based on chance, has been born in a different place on this planet, and that has never been their choice. So we have no choice but to be in love with the place that we are born. And this movement is basically making patriotism trend again globally. Patriotism is becoming cool again. It's becoming trendy again to be patriots. Even though it was a taboo recently and people were telling everybody that this is wrong, but it's becoming okay again to become patriots and love the place that you're born in. And he said that this is Patipta saying that this is the best thing that he could hear from inside Iran, because many Iranians will die. Many Iranians who are fighting in this fight will die. They could die any time. So the best news they could hear is that this would not end with them. That if they die, they have given their lives for something that is worth giving your life for, that the path will continue, that their death will not end this. Right? So even if you die for this, it was worth it, given that from somebody in Iran, seeing how global this trend is, makes it feel that it wasn't for nothing, right? And then it says, so I just want to give the news that many of us are on the mission to spread, many people
to spread this mission, to spread this movement globally. And then at the end, he asks whether is it wrong for somebody to love the place that they are born in, given that they have, I mean, you love your mother, you have no choice who your mother is, and you end up loving your mother. And that's the same thing with the place you're born in. You're born where you were born, and you had no choice in it, and you end up loving it. درست گفتم پوتیپتو؟
عالی، ممنونم. یک لحظه من یادم رفت کجا بودم، الان برمیگم. یک ثانیه. اوکی. نه اوکی. با نتیجه به این حرفا، با رفرنس به این حرفا میخوام اشاره بکنم که پس اگر من خودمو یک میهن پرست میدونم، باید بدونم که میهن پرستی هم یک رول بوک داره، یه سری قواعد داره. از نظر من مهمترین قاعدش دیسیپلینه. ما نمیتونیم میهن پرست باشیم و دیسیپلین رو جدی نگیریم. همونجوری که شما دو نفر رو، اون افرادی که من ازشون الگو میگیرم، این شو رو به عنوان نماینده دیسیپلین تونستین 143 روز ادامه بدین، این یه تاییدیه بر حرف من. اما در کنار دیسیپلین یه سری ویژگی خاص دیگه هم هست. مهمترینش اسمش روشه، عشق به وطن، میهن پرستی، عشق به جایی که به دنیا اومدی، عشق به رستورانی که توش غذا می‌خوردی، عشق به بیمارستانی که توش به دنیا اومدی. اینو هیچ کدوم از نظر من اشتباه نیست. این توافق خواستم اول با همه در میون بذارم که بر اساس این نتیجه گیری کنم، بر اساسش یه سری شواهدی رو بهتون بگم، یه سری الگوهایی رو بگم که من به شخصه دارم میبینم، باهاتون به اشتراک بذارم و شاید بتونم کمی اگر به اشتیاق نیاز دارید مشتاقتون بکنم، کمی اگر صبرتون تموم شده به صبر دعوتتون کنم و اگر کمی هیجان دارید باهاتون به اشتراکش بذارم.
یه لحظه ببخشید. هیجان excitement. اوکی. ببخشید بعضی موقع یه چیزی رو باید چک کنم. اوکی. خیلی خوب. So Potipto is saying, in reference to all of this, I just want to say that if I'm a patriot, I must know that patriotism has rules, and just like everything else, and one of those are that you need to have discipline. And then he gives this show, Iran Revolution Live, as an example that we have done this show for 143 days. And he says, like, for example, that requires discipline. And to be a patriot, you need to have discipline. So that's one of the rules. And he also says one of the most other important rules are, obviously, it's in the name that you need to have love for your country. And it's completely okay for somebody to have love for the place that they ate growing up, their childhood, the places that they've been, the places that they have been born. Having love for all of that is normal, and there's nothing wrong with it. And then Potipto also says that I want to also share this with you, that if you're losing hope, if you're losing patience, I want to be able to motivate you. I want to be able to help you share patience with you. And if you're excited, I also want to share that with you. درست گفتم اینا رو؟
بله ممنون. درست. همین الان لایو که من با شما دارم صحبت میکنم، پوتیپتوی 401 رو نگاه میکنم، پوتیپتوی 98 رو نگاه میکنم، میبینم که مبارزم همون مبارزه است، افکارم همون افکاره، صحبتام همونه در مجموع. اما این بار میبینم که آدم‌های بیشتری در موردش با هم صحبت میکنن. سال 98 خیلی آدم‌های کمتری بودن، حتی بین خود ایرانی‌ها. الان که دارم این مسیر رو طی میکنم میبینم آدم‌های بیشتری در موردش دارن با بقیه صحبت میکنن. میبینم که آدم‌های بیشتری به همون اضافه شدن، ارتشی تشکیل دادیم برای خودمون، عده خیلی زیادی هست و این منو به یه نتیجه میرسونه. این رو بگین که من بگم باشه.
So Potipto is saying that if you look at Potipto from years ago, from during the previous uprisings of people against the regime in Iran, from 5 years ago, from 2 years ago, because we had other waves of uprising that we have had. The Potipto, the things that Potipto is saying today are the same as what he was saying back then. He was saying the same thing. But the only difference is that now more people are saying those things. And more people are saying these things to others as well. So we are an army now. We are so much bigger. So it's basically the same things. The anti-regime people will be fighting against Islamic Republic. Their movement and their words and their philosophy hasn't changed. The only thing that has changed right now is that there's just more of them now. And that turns them into an army. And this gives Potipto a conclusion that he's going to tell us now. درست گفتم اینا رو؟
درست. یه چیزی رو خیلی کوتاه میتونم امتحان کنم، چون من یه قسمتی از صحبتمو وایس رکورد کردم، الان پلی میکنم. اگه اوکی باشه از رو همین جلو بریم خیلی بهتره به نفع من. پلی میکنم ببین شما صدا مناسب میاد، بعد همون رو ادامه بدید. اوکی؟
اوکی.
3 سال پیش رو نگاه میکنم، پوتیتو 401 رو نگاه میکنم، پوتیتو 98 رو نگاه میکنم. من میبینم که فکرم هموناست، افکارم هموناست، راهم هموناست، ولی دارم با آدمای بیشتری در موردش صحبت میکنم. آدمای بیشتری دارم حس تایید شدن بهم میدن. آدمای بیشتری رو دارم متوجهشون میشم و آدمای بیشتری رو دارم تایید میکنم. که چی؟ که این الگوی مشترک رو بین ما داره. قشنگه نه؟ ولی میخوام بهتون بگم که ترسناک هم هست. برای کی ترسناکه؟ برای اون کسی که میهن پرستی به نفعش نیست. برای اون کسی که در یک کلمه دزد و استعمارگره. کسی که به حق خودش و میهنی که توش به دنیا آمده و نقطه‌ای که توش به دنیا آمده راضی نیست و دنبال اینی که از دنیای تو، از وطن تو، از خاک تو چیزی رو برداره، برای خودش بکنه، ازش استفاده یا سوء استفاده. برای این مدل آدما ترسناکه. حق باید بهشون بدیم، قرار نیست بهشون اجازه بدیم دست درازی کنن، قرار نیست بهشون چیزی که مال ماست و اجازه بدیم داشته باشن. مثلا امروز که ما با هم داریم صحبت میکنیم، میهن پرستی برای یه عده تابوه یا یه عده خودشون رو اونقدری به قول خودشون پراگرسیو میدونن که نمیتونن خودشون میهن پرست بنامن، برای اینا ترسناکه دیگه. اینا همون پیاده نظام ایده‌ای هستن و پیاده نظام سردمدارانی هستن که در حال حاضر در حال دسترسی به کشورها و خاک و مال مردم‌های دیگه دنیا هستن. بریم بعد ادامه بدیم. اگه اوکی بود اینجوری ادامه بدیم خیلی راحت تر.
اوکی. ببین چقدر برای اینکه من بتونم منیج بکنم نوتامو، میتونی بگی چقدر از این مونده برای اینکه میخوام ببینم صفحه بزرگتر بیارم یا نه؟
صفحه بزرگتر بیاری که عالیه، ولی در مجموع هر جایی هم که فکر کردی مثلا فوله میتونیم استاپش کنیم، چون من فکرمو استراکچرال دارم میگم. میتونیم پاز کنیم بعد ادامهش بدیم.
نه خواستم فقط بدونم چون که مانیتورم اوکی. Okay, so Potipto is saying that there are more people on our side, which means that he has been vindicated. Let me just move things around a little bit. And this is very beautiful, but at the same time scary for the people that that patriotism is not for them, that patriotism is not in their favor. And these are oppressors and thieves. Someone who is not satisfied from their country, so they're trying to take something from our soil, from your soil. And these are basically the people who are against patriotism. It makes sense for these people who are anti-patriotic, for them to be scared of the fact that we are growing in number. And the reason why patriotism is taboo for these people is that it's scary to them. These are the foot soldiers of these movements.
right? These anti-patriotic movements. اینو درست گفتم؟
بله صحیح. در واقع من داشتم تاکید می‌کردم که باید حق بدیم به اینا. حالا ادامه‌شو می‌ذارم بعد.
فقط ایران و جمهوری اسلامی نیست. جمهوری اسلامی یک پراکسیه و پراکسی بود. اینو هیچ وقت فراموش نکنید. چرا؟ چون جمهوری اسلامی در قالب ساخته شد و طراحی شد تا در قالب یک دستکش و روپوش کار بکنه که دستای پشتشو آلوده نکنن. اون دستای پشتشون آردی میدونستن که دارن کار شهرآوری میکنن. قراره که تسخیر کنن، بدزدن و به قتل برسونن. این دستکش دست چه کسایی میره؟ کسایی که به غیر از منابع حیاتی ایران از نفت که به نظر من دیگه ارزشی نداره. یعنی من نفت رو به این میبینم که به ازای هر قطره نفتی که مصرف کردیم چقدر خون ریخته شد. و در کنارش هم متوجه هستم که دنیا در حال جایگزین شدنه. سوپر کامپیوترها دارن جای آدم‌ها تصمیم میگیرن، هوش مصنوعی دارن به آدم‌ها کمک میکنن که کاراشون رو اتوماسیون کنن، رهبر انسان تبدیل بشن و تا اونجایی که همین الان شما امروز ماشین الکتریکی داشتی خیلی احساس بهتری داشتی تو هر جای دنیا. مثلا دیگه کسی ماشین بنزینی داره وقتی می‌بینی که گس پرایس داره میخوره به یه جای دیگه. درسته؟
اینو اوکی بگیریم بریم ادامهش. اگر هم جایش مفهوم نبود بگو برات توضیح بدم.
So Patipta is saying that the Islamic Republic was just a proxy for these people so that they don't get their hands dirty. It's like the Islamic Republic hasn't been the main person that we're at war with. It is this anti-patriotic people who use the Islamic Republic like a glove so that their own hands don't get dirty. But we're basically at war with these anti-patriotic people, and the Islamic Republic is just their proxy. And then he talks about oil, and he says oil, the way I look at oil is that it's being used just to spill blood, and each drop of oil is being used to spill a drop of blood. And I also have this understanding that the world is changing. Supercomputers are going to be making decisions for humans, and the world is basically progressing in this direction. And AI is making decisions, people are progressing, and humans will be able to, and we're going to turn into superhumans at some point with AI and computers and supercomputers. And then he talks like we're entering a world where people prefer to have electric cars because they're better than other cars, right? درست گفتم اینا رو؟
دقیقاً ممنونم. در واقع میخوام تو صحبتم اشاره بکنم که خب طبیعتا نه تنها دنیا داره چنج میکنه بلکه نیازهای این دنیا هم داره عوض میشه. اگر استعمارهای گذشته فقط دنبال نفت بودن، در حال حاضر به غیر از نفت، یعنی حتی نفت هم کنار گذاشتن، دنبال سیلیکونن، دنبال مسن، دنبال در واقع لیتیومن. متوجه هستیم که اون انقلاب اینداستریال چیزای بیشتری در حال حاضر لازم داره. و خب از قضا منابع خیلی زیادی از همین چیزهای حیاتی در داخل خاک ایران هستن. تمرکز خیلی رو نفته ولی خیلی چیزهای مهمتری هست. مثلا وقتی که شاهزاده توی ادامه بدم؟
آره ادامه بده. فقط چیز من یه چیز حدود 20 دقیقه دیگه فقط باید برم. اینو خواستم بهت بگم.
من فکر می‌کنم 5 دقیقه 8 دقیقه دیگه تموم میشه از روش.
اوکی.
آره.
بگو.
آره در همین راستا این قسمت چیزو عوض شدن منابع رو می‌خواید ترجمه کنیم بعد من ازش
Okay, so Patipta is saying, for example, the resources are changing. It's not about oil anymore. It's about rare earth minerals because of this new silicon age that is we're going into, and we're in the middle of like an industrial revolution that many resources have to be considered, not just oil, right? درست گفتم اینو؟ I'm saying there's too much focus on oil. Okay.
Yeah. این اتفاق ما بدونیم که لیتیوم، مس، سیلیکون، تمام اینا هر جای دنیا که هستن برای اون آدم و عده‌ای که میخوان در قدرت باشن مهمه و دیگه با هم رو راست باشه. این منابع بالاخره در یه عده انسان قرار خواهد گرفت. ما نمیتونیم منابعمون رو همیشه زیر خاک نگه داریم. نیاز بهش پیدا شده و به زودی از خاک خارج خواهد شد و پروسس خواهد شد. اما به عنوان میهن پرست در رول بوکش باور داره که این منابع باید در منافع مردم کشورشون خرج بشه و باعث رشد، توسعه، پیشرفت، شکوفایی، امنیت، آسایش و چیزهای دیگه بشه که شاهنشاه آریامهر شاهزاده فقید رضا شاه کبیر بارها بهش اشاره کرده. امروز که میبینید شاهزاده نشست تکنولوژی میذاره توی سیلیکون ولی و مستقیما اشاره میکنه به اینکه سیستان و بلوچستان میتواند سیلیکون ولی ایران باشد. ما یه عده رو میبینیم که توی گارد مقابل حال ترال کردن و خب بیشتر از همه نادونی خودش رو دارن فریاد میزنن. مثلا اینه که اونا نمیدونن سیستان و بلوچستان فقیرترین استان کشور ایران تحت حکومت جمهوری اسلامی شامل غنی‌ترین منابع معدنی و فلزات گرانبها شاید در دنیا در موقع خودش هست. و ما اگر قراره که سیلیکون ولی در ایران داشته باشیم، یعنی مغز متفکر تکنولوژی و آینده نگری و برنامه‌ریزی های بلند مدت و ساخت ابزارهای منحصر به فرد و آینده نگرانه، بغیر از اینکه به یه دادم نقطه نیاز داریم که همه اینا توی اون جلسه اکثرشون طبیعتا همه خیلیشون که همراه با شاهزاده بودن، طبیعتا اینا میتونن اوجیهای تکنولوژی در ایران آزاد باشن. افرادی هستن که در ایران محدود و سربسته جمهوری اسلامی نه تنها شکوفا شدن بلکه رشد و توسعهشون رو در قبال مهاجرت و فعالیت توی کشور دیگه دست آوردن، رفتن توی تاپ تکنولوژی دنیا شدن پایونیرهای سیلیکون ولی. پس تک تک این آدم اوجی هن. حالا هر کدومشون هم که همراه ما بشه تو این مسیر واسه افتخارمون برای همیشه است. اما مسئله اصلی اینجاست، برای ساختن سیلیکون ولی ایران به غیر از این نخبگاهی که مستند به حرفایی که ارائه دادم در حال حاضر ما غنی هستیم درش نسبت به تمام دنیا، میشه به راحتی گفت، ما منابع منحصر به فردی هم که برای رشد نخبه‌ها و ساخت اون کمپانی‌ها و تمام چیزهای پشتش هم هستن موجود داریم. این یک اتفاق بی سابقه است. متوجه هستید؟
Okay. Okay, so Patricia saying all the lithium, all the copper, all the silicon, these are obviously important to important people out there, powerful people require these will, and one way or another, powerful people would want to use them in their own favor. So one way or another, all of these rare earth minerals in Iran will come out and will be used by these people. But from a patriotic perspective, these resources need to be used for the well-being, the security, the prosperity of the Iranian people. And this is exactly what Mohammad Reza Shah and Prince Reza Pahlavi have been talking about. The meeting that Prince Reza Pahlavi had in Silicon Valley recently with Iranian people that are involved in the Silicon Valley, where he talked about how Sistan Baluchistan, the province Sistan Baluchistan in Iran, could be a Silicon Valley. There were so many people, so many trolls that were making fun of that, but that's only because of their ignorance. Sistan Baluchistan province in Iran might be the poorest province in Iran, but it's more, is rich with rare earth minerals more than many places in the world. It's one of the richest places with rare earth minerals in the world. If we are to have a Silicon Valley in Iran, it makes sense for this to happen over there. And we also have a lot of great people that have proven to be successful in the tech sector. And if all of these people join our side, and all of these Iranians who are in the top leadership in the Silicon Valley, the top most successful people, Iranians in the Silicon Valley in the tech industry, they have managed to become successful outside of Iran in other countries, and they could become great help to this cause, to our movement, if they and obviously they are some of the best in the world, and we can use them. And we are basically very rich compared to the world, because we have the natural resources, we have the framework, and we also all have all of the people. So it's not just that we have the resources, but we have on top of that the framework to take the most advantage of all of this. And this is a very unique situation that we are in that is good for our country. درست گفتم همینا رو؟
عالی. فوق‌العاده.
این ایرانیه که افراد غیر ایرانی در مقابلش به دو دسته تقسیم شد. عده‌ای که عاشقشن، ازش هیجان زده میشن، بهش باور دارن، یا حداقل خودشون رو همراه این جهت میدونن. و در مقابلش هم طبیعتاً دشمنانی که به راحتی چشمشون روی خونه میشه گفت میلیون ها ایرانی در تاریخ جمهوری اسلامی میبندن و برای خودشون حق انتخاب قرار میدن و انتخاب میکنن تو طرف مقابل بشن. توی اون تیم بودن که هیچ وقت تبریک و تهنیت و شادباش نداره، اما بودن کنار شما، بودن جزئی از تیم شما، به من نوید اینو میده که ما به قدرتی دست پیدا کردیم که در آینده نه تنها ایران آباد و آزاد میسازیم، بلکه دنیا رو در هر جایی که هست برای تمام میهن پرستان جای بهتری میکنیم. دنیا اینقدر باشه تقسیم بشه که این ذات طبیعته تو نمیتونی ازش.
اینو بگیم بعد ادامه‌شو بریم، چون اینجا خود عوض میشه الان.
Okay, so thing, this is the Iran that many both Iranians and non-Iranians will put them in two different camps. The people who get excited about this future of Iran and would love to see this Iran, and they are basically see themselves in this direction to get to here. And then we have the people who are on the other side of this, who close their eyes to the death of millions and choose to be on the other side. Obviously, the second side, there's no happiness to be on that side. But Potito says, I'm the side that we are on. He's happy to see himself on our side, and it gives him hope. And together on this side, we will build a free Iran, a prosperous Iran, and also this will go beyond Iran and will be an improvement to the whole world. درست گفتم اینا؟
عالی، بسیار ممنون.
دنیا اینقدر باشه تقسیم بشه که این ذات طبیعته به واقع به این که بالاخره
ببخشید یه لحظه.
دنیا اینقدر باشه تقسیم بشه که این ذات طبیعته تو نمیتونی ازش جلوگیری بکنی. طبیعت همیشه در تفاوته، مرزها همیشه در حال جابجاییه. این اسم طبیعته، شما نمیتونید این رفتار رو به طبیعی در نظر بگیرید. پس با استناد به این موضوع به واقع به این که بالاخره دسته‌بندی شکل خواهد گرفت و مرزهای دوره آدم خواهد کشیده شد، اجازه بدین اون مرزها دور آدم‌های میهن پرست قرار بگیره، چون هر جایی که باشن نه تنها اونجا رو آباد میکنن، بلکه درک درستی هم از نقطه مقابل که دنیا دارن. یعنی هیچ وقت به خودشون اجازه نمیدن که به کشورهای دیگه دست درازی بکنن یا بخوان همراه کشورهای منطقه حداقل نباشه. مثلا فکر میکنم میان پرستی بهترین راه به صلح رسوندن جهان با باور به قوانین طبیعت و با این جمله صحبت هم تمام میکنم. آینده ایران جاوید شاه، به امید این که تک تکتون رو فرصت داشته باشه، به امید روزی که بتونیم تک تک افرادی که صدای من رو میشنون یا فوتیپتو براشون یه اسم آشناست و یه روزی توی جاهایی از ایران یا این پرسن شخصی ببینمشون که برای من یک موهبت هدیه و شانس و غنیمته یا در فرصت اینو داشته باشم که جا رو بهشون به هر طریقی که هست نشون بدم. دوستتون دارم.
Okay, Potipto is saying, so the world will be divided in different categories. This is only natural. It can't be avoided. So if we are going to create categories and put different people in different categories and basically draw borders around them, and this is a dynamic situation that these borders constantly change. So why not, if that's natural to happen, then why not have a category of patriots? We need to have a category for patriots, and so we can understand ourselves, but we also, this way we could also have an understanding of the other side, the people who are not patriots. And then Potipto says patriotism is the best way to bring peace to the world. This is the best path. And then he says, Payande Iran, Javid Shah, in the hopes to see each one of the people who are listening to him somewhere in Iran one day, one way or another. Everybody that knows Potipto, everybody that's hearing Potipto, he hopes that he could see them somewhere in Iran one day. And he hopes that he could show him different places in Iran one day. Okay.
ممنونم بابت از آرمین.
خواهش نه مرسی از پیامت و yeah, that's it. So خوب بود، درست گفتم؟ Okay, we did it, Goldie. We went through that.
Thank you so much, Potipto. You're always welcome, and always, whenever you have time, we always want to hear from you. So thank you so much. We appreciate your inputs, your updates. So thank you for that. And I know our audience does as well, because they always appreciate hearing voices from people inside of Iran. Just, please make sure that you are safe, and you and I will continue messaging on Telegram as we usually do. So, but Armin, I know it's almost time for you to go. Perhaps we can go back and quickly go through the super chats before you head out.
Okay. Yes. Okay. I'll do that. Okay. So Jeff is saying, mega supporter here, supporting your efforts, Goldie. Great job. Keep going. Thank you too, Armin. Well, thank you, Jeff, for your support.
Thank you, Jeff.
And then Sarah is saying, should be called Islamic Republic in Iran, not of Iran. That's what I like to say. Sarah.
That's what I say as well.
Yes, not of Iran. Nothing about the regime is Iranian. Not only the regime is not Iranian, the regime is the most anti-Iranian that has ever existed in the history of Iran. Let me actually flip my camera so I'm looking at the screen. There we go. Thank you, Sarah. And Melissa just gave one membership gift to the people in the chat on Goldie's channel. Thank you so much, Melissa. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. William saying they're willing to let millions suffer and die because they view Trump as a bigger threat than a nuclear-armed Islamic Republic. Exactly. That's exactly what their main agenda is, which shows where their priorities are. Very good, William. Sorry, I almost called you Potipto. Ida saying, hey, Potipto, heart for Potipto. Thank you, Ida. You gave so many super chats today. That's very supportive. Thank you. Ida with another super chat saying, Armin, Goldie, and heart. Thank you so much, Ida. And then another super chat from Ida saying, I will aggressively continue to send super chats. Maybe something will happen. That is okay. Well, thank you. Thank you, Ida. And then Ida saying, classic RGC propaganda, classic CNN. Very well said. Perfectly said. Thank you so much, Ida. And Roman Vikings 95 saying, what should I take in free Iran to obtain Iranian citizenship as an immigrant? Oh, well, that depends on the laws in Iran. And we don't know yet because we have to have a constitution. So the Iranian people will vote for the members of the founding fathers, the founding council, and based on what they write in the constitution, and we're going to have a parliament, they're going to pass the laws. So what will happen, how our immigration and citizenship will work, it will be depending on how our constitution will be written based on the election and how our parliament works. So which laws our parliaments pass. So this is yet to be determined. But what I could tell you for sure is that we're going to be strict with our migration, and we're not going to allow garbage people with garbage ideas into our country. That's I can know for sure, because the Iranian people have had enough with these garbage ideas. So we're not going to let more people with those ideas to come inside Iran. And thank you, Roman Viking, for that super chat. And yeah, obviously, Roman Viking, I'm not talking about you. You're obviously would be. In fact, if anything, I would want to meet you inside Iran, and I hopefully I get to see you inside Iran one day. But I'm just talking about the immigration policy. And then Hezi Hirschhorn saying, we love Trump. Yeah, well, good for you.
Yes,
Okay, loving your president. Yes. Oh, no, you're Israeli. Sorry. We love Trump. Okay, wait. See, Israelis, there are many Israelis who love President Trump. Actually, President Trump is very popular in Israel. Thank you so much for the super chat. Amir is saying the Islamic Republic said good morning. What? It means we're in the evening. Okay. If they say good morning, it means we're in the evening. They lie 100% of the time. Yeah. Goldie likes to say if their moves are moving, they're lying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fickle nut, I think, saying, Armin, I'm so thankful that you can interpret for us. Oh, well, thank you. It's such an honor to be heroes and national treasures interpreters. Is like such an honor that Patipta sees me fit to interpret his messages to you guys.
We all appreciate Armin GPT.
Well, thank you. Okay, thank you. Saying you are valuable and loved by all of us. Love and courage. Well, thank you. Oh, that's so sweet. That made my day. Rafi. Oh, you changed. Okay, now it's easier. It used to be Hebrew. Now you made it easy for me to read. You changed your username so I could read it, right? Is that am I misremembering this? I think it used to be Hebrew. Rafi Oren is saying the mullahs promise they burn Iran if they fall. That's why Trump game really shows he really care for Iran. Oh, Trump's game. Yeah, okay. Yes, exactly. Because Trump is trying to do an attack in a way that it doesn't give them an opportunity to do scorched earth. Exactly. That's actually a very good point, Rafi. You understand what's going on here. Okay. Thank you, Rafi, for that super chat. And then
Rod L. Miller.
Rod L. Okay. Rod L. is saying, Patipto, what's happening now is a solid attempt to restore Iran to actual Iranians. Hope that when the internet gets restored, the world will see all. Well, thank you, Radel. Thank you. Yes, I hope so as well. And guys, the only way to free the internet in Iran is to free Iran. Okay, that's the only way to do it. Is to topple the regime and bring Pahlavi back to Iran. And Hezi is saying, another super chat from Hezi saying, it is the last battle and we are in it all the way. It will continue until freedom is restored for Iran and for the world. Well, yep, exactly. We will not stop. If it takes only a day or if it takes 10 years, one way or another, we will not stop until Iran is free. And also for the whole world. Exactly. Thank you, Hezi, for the super chat. Push Up saying, have libertarians finally moved away from polls? I mean, I hope so. Many American libertarians don't even understand what libertarian means. I think they have confused it with anarcho-capitalism and also supporting terrorists for some goddamn reason. They have destroyed anything that libertarianism actually used to mean. So yeah, I hope they move away from the polls. And that's actually a very good observation. I'm glad you recognize that. FC is saying, oh, just member for 2 months, celebrating membership for 2 months. Thank you for being a member for 2 months. Appreciate that. And Dominic saying, last super chat, saying Iran from terrorism to tourism. Oh, that's actually good. We're going to take Iran from terrorism to tourism coming soon. That's
Great
love
point.
that. You know what? Very good point. Very beautifully put. And Patipta approves. Patipta approves.
Oh, what's going on?
We've been censored. No, we're back.
No, there we go.
Okay. All right. We're back. And flip camera. So I'm facing. See, guys, I figured out how to keep flipping my camera. So I'm pointing Goldie when I'm over here.
So funny.
Yes. All right. Oh, can I tell people where I'm going?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
Okay, guys, I am going to our discussion group, and you could come and talk to me and other people there. There is a QR code that you can scan that will take you there. There's three ways to go there. Okay, either you could scan this QR code that will take you to the discussion group. Okay. And you can see the discussion group looks like this. You can see our event. If you click on here, it will take you to the discussion group. You could or you could click on the link that I'm going to post in the chat. You could come and talk to me and other people there in our group call that is happening in 1 minute. I think I'm going to be late. Or you could also check the bio of Liberty Politics YouTube channel. The link is over there as well. Or you could just scan. The fanciest way is to scan this QR code. So I'm going to be there in our group call. I'm going to be talking to people there. And you could come talk to me and all the other interesting people that are there in our group call. So that's it. Any closing remarks? Or should we just go with the... okay.
Wait, I'm trying to add something to the stage here. Wait.
Okay.
So, and just for me, guys. So
I'm sorry. I'm supposed to ask.
Okay.
Goldie, I failed. And guys, no, hold on. Let's pretend that did not happen.
Armin, it's okay. It's
no,
okay.
It's not okay.
Oh my gosh.
That's not okay for me. And guys, and other than so I'll see you in 1 minute. And also, Goldie will be going live. Let's pretend that nothing happened, okay? And Goldie will be going live also later today. So, Goldie,
Yes.
what are you doing later today?
So I'm doing a live stream later today, guys. So make sure, you're following me on my YouTube channel. For people who are watching on Rumble, I added the link to my live stream to the top of the Rumble chat. So keep an eye on that because I'm going live on my other Rumble channel. And I did post my video, The Calm Before the Storm, which I made yesterday. And I'm going to be working on a few more videos for later today. And then I will see all of you guys live later this evening. So thank you so much.
Right. Yes. Okay.
And Petito, thank you very much for being here and being with us as well and giving your updates.
And stay safe, please. Petito, please stay safe, okay?
به روی چشم حتما و it's my honor to be with you and it's my pleasure as always.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, Armin.
All right. Yes. So, guys, as usual, I'm Israel Chai. Long live America.
God bless America.
Javid Shah.
Payande Iran. See you guys tomorrow.
غرق انقلاب است.
کشور ما تاریخ ما نفسی دگر فرا گرفته گویی اهورا مستا دوباره در نور خود مرا گرفته اکنون سرودی سر میدهم باز فارغ از رنج و تشویش ایران غرق انقلاب است به پیش به پیش به پیش ایران غرق انقلاب است به پیش به پیش
چو هنگام تا درد آن تجربه تلخ ما را نکشیده در آب بگذار هر دم بغرند گرگ دم لباس میش ایران غرق انقلاب است به پیش به پیش به پیش ایران غرق انقلاب است به پیش به پیش به پیش ای کارگر ای برزگر راحت قانون ادامه دارد در این زمان که پرتو یزدان از هر سو بر تو میبارد پس پیش به سوی آزادی از بحر خزر تا کیش ایران غرق انقلاب است به پیش به پیش به پیش ایران غرق انقلاب است به پیش به پیش به پیش خلقا به پا بحر دفاع از استقلال و آزادی تا بشکنیم پشت ارتجاع تیریزی ویران آبادی تا زنده سازیم سنت‌های می از من آلین و کیش ایران غرق انقلاب است به پیش به پیش به پیش ایران غرق انقلاب است به پیش به پیش به پیش
با امید روزی که تمام این دلبشو و انقلاب تموم بشه و ما در روشنایی نور و سعادت مردم کشورمون غرق بشیم
نه خارجی نه بیگانه نه مستشارهای ویرانی نه چیر خاران نه کاسه لیسان فقط هم رزمان ایرانی تا با شرافت میهنی بسازی بهر فرزندان خویش ایران غرق انقلاب است به پیش به پیش به پیش ایران غرق انقلاب است به پیش به پیش به پیش مردان بیایید داخل صف ما اکنون که آغاز رویاست دشمنان بدانید ما زنده هستی بعد از ما هم ایران پابرجاست آن روح شیطان ما را فریب داد با صد شعار مردمیش ایران غرق انقلاب است به پیش به پیش به پیش ایران غرق انقلاب است به پیش به پیش به پیش پرچم ما پرچم ایران غرق خون شهیدان روی شانه هامان حمل میکنیمش در هر خیابان و میدان تا ماسک دلقکان را برداریم از روی تسبیح و ریش